GuitarBazaar.net. Here you go, folks. Here's the rundown of the models available from QA Guitars in 2021. Some of the models we have had for 2020. We'll show them all to give you a rundown of what's available in 2020. First up, the guitar that made a big splash. An amazing value at a very good price, and these will be going on sale as we announce the new models coming out. This is the Angel. Now these bodies and necks we had machined. Ebony boards, mahogany body, mahogany neck. We have double binding, front and back, 5-layer binding on the bodies, 5-layer binding along the back, bound neck, bound headstock, gold hardware, or black if you wish. The Dark Angel is the black model. We have one model with coil tapping available. Just one of those left. Diamond and dot inlays, Grover tuners, of course. We've got a satin finish on the neck, which makes them really quick. This one is my personal guitar. It has an ABR1 bridge. They do come with Godo roller bridges. Bourne's low friction pots, Mallory caps, Switchcraft output jack and switch, 60s style top hat knobs, PNAF pickups covered either gold or black. The coil tappable version has open pickups. The body's beautifully done in a gold finish, and there's a nod to some of those other guitars that have the same tone, same playability. These play a lot better. This is the Angel from QA Guitars. Watch the website, join up for the mailing list. There'll be a message going out when we put models on sale. This is one of the models that we've chose to not do again because the expense drives the price way up there. Just the ebony for that board, as you all know, ebony is not cheap and it's getting harder and harder to get. These guitars are a cut above and just one rocking guitar from QA Guitars. This is the Angel. Okay, so here's one of the most amazing guitars we've ever had the pleasure of producing. This is the Bumblebee. Now, for those that know me, I do have a 56 Junior that I love. And I wanted to get that tone, and I've got lots of friends that come over to play the guitar, and they want one. Unfortunately, although there are a few 50s Juniors around, they're extremely expensive. I wanted to recreate the tone of those guitars and those rockin' P90s and one-up it. And we did. This is the Bumblebee. Mahogany body, maple neck, here's our set necks, and we've got an African Blackwood board, which is the brown series. It comes in brown or black with our diamond and dot inlays on it. Hand wound Stinger P90, Sung-Il wraparound bridge, and QA tuners, Bourne's low friction pots, Mallory caps, Gavitt braided wire, elliptical strap buttons, bone nut, medium frets, and a playability that's second to none. If you see some of the videos online of some of the artists we've got playing these, they rock. We've recently seen 2 of them for sale for more than what they cost new. Are they covering the fees? Maybe, but they're used and they're quite a bit above what those fees would be. Are they going up in value? I'd like to think so. Hey, that's a great selling point. But we've got a few left. They will be going on sale in the fall. Of course, it's September. Fall's here, so pay attention to the website. QA Guitars, this is the one that started it all, quality affordable guitars. Now, quality, affordable. Hard to find these days, but here it is, the Bumblebee. In simplicity, one rockin' guitar. Next up is the HB1 or Honeybee. Same guitar as the Bumblebee. Mahogany body, maple neck, bone nut, QA tuners, Sungil wraparound bridge, Gabbett wire, switchcraft switch and output jack, Bourne's low friction pots, elliptical strap buttons, hand wound dog ear at the bridge, and the neck pickup is a hand wound soap bar. Hence the Honeybee. She stings like a bumblebee in the bridge position, but you can switch to the neck and she gets creamy and bluesy. Kind of like a bumblebee on steroids with a fancy burled top. That burled ash top is actually pretty. It is a veneer. Mahogany body, of course, with the top. These guitars are fantastic. We wanted to give a little bit more tonality to the Bumblebee without destroying what the Bumblebee was, because the Bumblebee's a rocker. So we did the HB10 Honeybee. A bumblebee on steroids with a neck pickup to make it creamy and bluesy. We've got a few of these left. They also will be going on sale. Okay. Next up, from QA Guitars, you might recognize this one, and no, it's not a Bumblebee. This is a Stinger. What we did for 2020 with the Bumblebee, if you'll notice around the edges, we've got a German carve. Kind of dressed up the Bumblebee a little bit. We went a little bit hotter on the pickup at 8.6 rather than 8.2 as on the Bumblebees. And we put a Wilkinson wraparound bridge on these because we found that little slider to adjust the intonation on the B and G string was really handy to get them going where we wanted. And the nut on this one, as you can see, is black. And no, that's not plastic. That is a buffalo horn nut on that guitar. Bourne's low friction pots, 50 style knobs with pointers, hand wound Stinger pickup, African blackwood fretboard, maple neck, mahogany body with a German carve on the front, just so elegant. QA style tuners, we have those made for us, elliptical strap buttons, a very low action. This is the Stinger from QA Guitars. Up next from QA Guitars, yeah, you guessed it. We couldn't do that Stinger with that German carve without doing a model with two pickups. We have the Stinger D. Same as the Stinger, Wilkinson wraparound bridge, hand wound dog ear at the bridge, hand wound soap bar at the neck, Bourne's pots, Gabbett wire, switchcraft switch and output jack, 50 style knobs with pointers, custom pick guard on this one, elliptical strap buttons, mahogany body, maple neck, African blackwood brown fretboard with medium nickel frets, QA tuners, and a very low action. You know what this guitar is. This is a rockin', bluesy, rockin' piece of guitar. We only have two left. Up next is the Cardinal D. Had a friend who had a Candy Apple Red SG taken in to fix a couple of chips, and the fella struggled with Candy Apple Red. Rather than bust his tail, I thought maybe I'll try it, see how hard it is. Candy Apple Red. This is the Stinger D, folks. Really a cool guitar. Just like the Stinger D, this is the Cardinal D. Cardinal Red, right? Bourne's low friction pots, 50s knobs with pointers, switchcraft switch and output jack, elliptical strap buttons, Wilkinson wraparound bridge with that adjustable slider, hand wound dog ear and hand wound soap bar at the neck, custom pick guard, mahogany body, African blackwood, QA tuners, low action, diamond and dots. This is a rockin' guitar in Candy Apple Red. This is the Cardinal D. We did do a single pickup model. Wait, we'll show you that next. This is the Cardinal D from QA Guitars. And here it is, the single pickup model of the Cardinal D. This guitar is candy apple red, Wilkinson wraparound, hand-wound stinger, Bourne's pots, Gavit wire, switchcraft output jack, elliptical strap buttons, 50s knobs with pointers, cool little pickguard on it, African blackwood fretboard on a mahogany body with maple neck and QA tuners, German carve around the edges, and oh, that candy apple red, you can see I'm waving at you. Just a beautiful paint job. This is the Cardinal. Cardinal S to be exact. That stands for single. From QA Guitars, the Cardinal S. And now for a little fun. Here's your Bumblebee. Sunghill wraparound bridge. Hand-wound stinger pickup on a mahogany body with maple neck, Bourne's pots, 50 style knobs, little pointer washers, elliptical strap buttons, African blackwood board, QA tuners, but look at the tail end, those three little tuners. This is a 9-string. There are two of these. This is the prototype. QA 9-string Bumblebee. They rock. There are two. One is available, one has already been sold. This one I'm kind of hanging on to, but we can do you one. Kind of a prototype right in front of you. This is a rocking guitar. The top 3 strings are doubled up with the smaller thin octave string mounted below the main string. In other words, you get that full tone of a 12 string without that jangly effect, and you can do some blinding leads on the bottom 4 strings that are singular, right? Or the bottom 3 strings that are singular, excuse me. This guitar is something I wanted to put together and just see how it would go, and it turned out to be a monster, guys. The QA Bumblebee 9-string, kind of a fun one. Here's another one, a prototype. A Bumblebee, you say, but it's a Bumblebee that's a little different. Tried some things here, and this is a prototype. You'll notice there's a Leo Kwan style bridge on it. Same stinger pickup, however it's got some modifications to it. We'll get to that in a minute. Mahogany body, maple neck, African blackwood fretboard with a bone nut, QA tuners, Bourne's low friction pots, Gavit wire, switchcraft output jack, Mallory caps, 50s knobs with pointers. There's a twist, guys. The pickup rates at 8.3 ohms resistance. When you pull out the volume knob, it drops it down to 6.1. A single coil that you can split. Kind of innovative. It's also very quiet because of the way we designed the pickup. We did apply for a patent for the pickup that is pending. On the tone knob, when you pull it out, it pops out, you push it again, it pops in. Or when you push on the tone knob, it switches between an 047 cap and an 022 cap, giving you brighter or darker tone. This is the QA Bumblebee Pro Prototype. Very versatile, rocking piece of equipment. Here's another prototype, guys. We do not build these. We built this just to build it. And I have a friend who's more than interested, we'll say, in it. This is the Bumble V. Not the Bumblebee, the Bumble V. You got a 100-year-old mahogany body, Sunghill knife edge bridge, soap bar stinger pickup at 8.6K, maple neck with a rosewood board, medium frets, Bourne's low friction pots with speed knobs and pointers, switchcraft output jack, very fast neck, QA tuners, elliptical strap buttons, and she's Corvette yellow. This is the Bumble V Prototype. We will not be building these, although we might. At this point, there's a little controversy over the V shape. Our V shape's a little different. Well, let's not stir the pot. This is the Bumble V Prototype from QA Guitars. While we're on the subject of prototypes, here's one I absolutely love. The Mayarana Prototype. 100-year-old aged mahogany body, maple neck with a rosewood board, 24 fret, medium fret Sungil knife edge bridge, QA PNAF pickups, Bourne's low friction pots, 50s knobs with pointers, Mallory caps, Switchcraft switch and output jack, the Addario elliptical strap buttons, QA tuners, Corvette yellow. Oh my. The Mayarana Prototype is a fantastic guitar. This is just a beautiful piece. QA Guitars, Mayarana Prototype. And while we're on the subject of prototypes, this is the ear model prototype. Built this one for myself. After building the ear model, we'll show you the standard prototype here in a bit. But this one I built for myself as a 9-string, like the 9-string Bumblebee, that just turned out to be a crazy good guitar. I wanted one in my new ear model. This one I did with a start bar and ABR1 bridge. Black hardware. This particular guitar has barrel knobs, set screw, solid shaft, Bourne's pots, Mallory caps, Switchcraft switch and output jack, elliptical strap buttons. It is a maple neck with a rosewood board. Absolutely fast action, bone nut, QA tuners, and it's a 9-string. Don't know where those double cream pickups came from. I don't sell double cream pickups, but if I want a set for myself, I'm going to wind them, and here they are. I don't sell them. I don't wind them for people, but I wanted them on this guitar. Done in white lacquer. Nitro is just cool. I did not use any grain fillers on it. The guitar absolutely rocks, and it is a 9-string. In other words, the top 3 strings are doubled up. Tuners are at the butt end of the guitar. The octave string sits below the main string, so you don't get that jangly tone, and you can still do blinded leads on the bottom 3 strings. Shoot boy howdy. The ear model 9-string prototype. This one's mine. If you want one, get a hold of me. I'm sure we can do it for you. Okay, so here's a body style that there's a lot of questions about. A few people said they designed it. I did not. Although I felt it was a good design, and a friend of mine gave me a body. So I made one. It turned out nice. And in showing it to a friend, I was pointed towards a fella that there was a picture of him playing it back in the 80s, a guitar shaped like this. However, it wasn't the same. But it was similar enough that I thought, okay, here's 35 years ago, this guy's playing one, I bet I know who designed it. So I already had a couple of bodies cut, and I finished all 3 of them and discontinued the model. I'm not going to step on anybody's toes, but I'll build what I've got done, and that'll be that. This is the Mayarana. This is the Burnt Offering. Now this is a post-apocalyptic baby. This is a big honking beast. 2 inches thick. PNAF pickups with burnt chrome covers. Sungil knife edge bridge, elliptical strap button, Switchcraft switch and output jack, 50 style top hat knobs, Bourne's low friction pots, Mallory caps, Gavit wire. This is a mahogany board on a mahogany neck with a bone nut, QA tuners. It's heavy, about 8.5 pounds. It's big, about 2 inches thick. It's got tone up the tail end, and this is a metal monster for sure. There's one of these. We wanted to do this with respect to the person whom I believe designed the guitar, who has now passed away. He worked for a guitar company that I have a whole lot of feeling for. He never did produce this. I think he produced one for himself in a 10-string Baja Quinto, as they would call them, guitar that they make south of the border. This is the Mayarana. We are not going to produce the guitar, although we do have several that we did before we decided to call it a day, after finding out that the person who told me they designed it was maybe influenced by this other person. Although he's gone now, with respect to him, we won't produce it. There are two. The Mayarana. This is the burnt offering. Not for the faint of heart. This thing screams. It's big. It's heavy. It's metal. Believe me. It's heavy metal. The Mayarana burnt offering. Okay. And here is the other Mayarana that we built before we found that the person who thought they designed it was mistaken, and it looks like someone else had designed it back in the 80s. We decided not to build this model. First of all, someone else designed it. I won't step on their toes. There was no trademark filed on it. It wouldn't be a legal issue, but it sure would be a respect issue. That person has now passed on. I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. This is the Mayarana. There are two, the burnt offering and this one. This one, as you can see, is done in spalted maple. It's a beautiful guitar. I did this one as a 25.5-inch scale, which I rarely do. We will sell this one. There will be no more. As I said, I would not appreciate it if someone stepped on my toes. I won't step on anyone else's toes. It is available. It's the Mayarana. Okay, before we get into the new models, this is a personal guitar. Built this one for myself, guys. I don't produce these. I'm not a telly guy. I'm not going to step on anyone's toes. It's a telly style guitar, string through body, sung ill knife edge bridge, PNAF humbuckers, Bourne's low friction pots, Gavet wire, speed knobs, switchcraft switch and output jack, elliptical strap buttons, maple, bird's eye maple highly figured neck with a rosewood board. It is a mahogany body with a spalted maple top that's absolutely gorgeous. QA tuners. It's mine. We don't produce it, but we thought you'd take a look at it. We do have a partner that does telly bodies of this caliber if you want one done. He does telly style bodies. He may build a whole guitar for you if you ask him real nice. This is mine. This is the Teleblaster. Okay, so we'll start at the beginning. I started out to design a guitar for myself that was balanced, whether you're standing up or sitting down, that felt good, sounded good, played good, and was beautiful. The ear model, IYR, Aramaic for the watcher or angel. She sounds like an angel, and that sound comes into your head from those two appendages on the side of your head, the ears. So I named it the ear model. This one, mahogany body, beautiful spalted ink line maple Ambrosia top. Hip shot bridge, string through the body. 50s knobs with pointers. Bourne's low friction pots, Gavet wire, Mallory caps, switchcraft switch and output jack. It also has an Ambrosia maple neck with a Wengi fretboard, bone nut, and QA tuners. This is the prototype for the ear model. I say this one's not for sale because it's mine, but hey, if the price was right, I'd probably sell it. I think I could build another one, but I love this one. The ear model, more to come. Okay, so here's the other spalted. Ambrosia ink line spalted maple top. So many people asked about the other one that I built for myself that I thought I'll just build one more. And here it is. Finding tops like this is hard. Absolutely beautiful. Hip shop bridge, QA P&AF pickups. Bourne's low friction pots. This one has orange drop caps, switchcraft switch and output jack, Tessie knobs. This is a sateen board sitting on an alder neck with a bone nut and Wilkinson tuners. 12-inch radius, course of mahogany body. Spalted ink line Ambrosia maple. It's pretty. Mother Nature's artwork is just better than we could ever do. Here's a cool one. Up next is a mahogany body, maple neck with a maple board. The top is flame maple on the sides and lacewood through the center. It has a QA set of tuners, a sung-ill knife through bridge, string through the body, P&AF pickups, Bourne's low friction pots, Gavitt wire, Mallory cap, switchcraft switch and output jack, speed knobs. This one has a 10-inch radius and is a 25.5 scale with a bone nut. We don't build many with a 25.5 scale. The guitar is fairly lightweight at 7.5 pounds and really rocks. Flame maple and lacewood. Great combination, great looking guitar. Up next, the Serpent. Mahogany body, Ambrosia maple neck with an Ambrosia maple board, medium stainless steel frets, bone nut, P&AF pickups, sung-ill knife through bridge, Bourne's low friction pots, Mallory caps, Gavitt wire, switchcraft switch and output jack, cupcake screw-on knobs. 10-inch radius, and we built this one with a snakehead headstock. The Serpent, black limber top, mahogany body, QA guitars. Okay, here's the second, black limber, mahogany body, mahogany neck with a mahogany board, medium stainless steel frets, QA tuners, bone nut. The frets are stainless steel, yeah, they're quick. P&AF pickups, sung-ill knife edge string through body bridge, Bourne's low friction pots, Mallory caps, switchcraft switch and output jack, elliptical tuners, 10-inch radius. The ear black limber number 1. This is a 25.5 inch scale as well. We don't build many of them in this scale length. The black limber number 1. Next up, I call it the Streaker. Mahogany body, maple neck with a walnut board, stainless steel medium frets, bone nut, QA tuners, and a beautiful quilted figured mineral streak maple top. Sung-ill knife edge through body bridge, P&AF pickups, switchcraft switch and output jack 50s in style knobs with pointers, Bourne's low friction pots, F-dine caps, Gavitt wire and a 10-inch radius. I call it the Streaker. Plays like a dream and sounds absolutely incredible. Up next, another QA guitar that's special is the mahogany body. Beautiful lacewood top. Walnut neck, Ambrosia maple board, stainless steel frets, bone nut, gold Wilkinson tuners, sung-ill Knife edge string through body bridge with PNF-AF pickers covered in gold. Gold speed knobs, Bourne's low friction pots, Mallory caps, Gavit wire. Switchcraft switch and output jack, 25.5 inch scale. We don't do many. We used to do them, and we decided on the 24/7.5 for the ear model. This is one of the ones done in 25.5 and one of two done with gold hardware. The ear model Lacewood from QA Guitars. Next in line from QA Guitars, this was gorgeous. 5/8 quilted maple top in butterscotch. Mahogany body, maple neck with an Ambrosia maple board. This has jumbo frets on it. They are nickel. You got a hip shot string through the body bridge, PNAF pickups, Tessie knobs, switchcraft switch and output jack, Bourne's low friction pots, Mallory caps, Gavit braided wire, 10-inch radius. She looks good, she plays good, and she sounds good. The quilted maple ear. Here's one that's near and dear to my heart. This is kind of a nod to those late 70s guitars. Beautiful piece. Mahogany, maple, mahogany, pancake body and neck. 70s Leo Quan bridge, PNAF pickups, rosewood board, medium nickel frets, bone nut, Grover bottleneck tuners, 1970 Gibson SG knobs, switchcraft switch and output jack. She's light, she's nice. It's a nod to times gone by, and it turned out just absolutely beautiful. Another beautiful quilted maple top. The ear model. Antiqued finish, quilted maple top, hip shot string through the body bridge, QA PNAF pickups, maple neck with a walnut board, 10-inch radius, bone nut, QA tuners, gold speed knobs, Bourne's low friction pots, F-dine caps, Gavit braided wire, switchcraft switch, and output jack. Plays like a dream and looks like a princess. Oddly enough, we call this Lahania, the harlot, with good reason. We won't get into it. The QA ear harlot. Next up, the QA ear model, Purple Heart. Purple Heart wings, mahogany body, lacewood center on the top. Hip shot string through the body bridge, PNAF pickups, mahogany neck with a walnut board, 10-inch radius, ebony knobs, Bourne's low friction pots, switchcraft switch and output jack, F-dine caps, Gavit braided wire, QA tuners and a bone nut. I can tell you I dulled a few tools with those Purple Heart wings. We gave it kind of an antique finish. Looks great, plays great. The QA Purple Heart. Here's one that's a mind blower. A very, very special guitar. Mahogany body, burled poplar top, string through body, hip shot bridge, PNAF pickups, mahogany neck with a Babinga board, and medium stainless steel frets with a bone nut. Tessie aircraft knobs sitting on Bourne's low friction pots with F-dine caps, all Gavit braided wire, switchcraft switch and output jack, and a big nod to Mother Nature for the artwork. That kind of artwork, Mother Nature creates that. It's not painted. The blue is epoxy, helping to hold it together. It's just amazing stuff. And I'll tell you, This guitar is one of the coolest guitars. She's light. This has a thin profile neck, which most of our necks are pretty chunky, as some folks have realized and come to love us for the tone. This is the burled Poplar from QA Guitars. Here's one from the Artisan series, which some of the ones you've seen are from that series, which is our high-end line. This one is a mahogany body with a burled myrtle wood top. The neck is Cortisone Bubinga with a Zirconi fretboard, side markers clean on the front side. Medium nickel frets, bone nut, Wilkinson tuners, hardware is gold. Hip shot through the body bridge. QA P&AF Tone Master pickups. 50 style top hat knobs, switchcraft switch and output jack, elliptical strap buttons, and this one has a 12-inch radius. These things play well. This guitar plays and sounds well with our new Tone Master pickups. Burled myrtle, I'll tell you, that wood just gorgeous. We did our antique tint finish on it, just pops. And the gold hardware with the Zirconi board was just the way to go with this guitar. 25.5 inch scale, which, as you know, we built a few, not many. The burled myrtle wood, QA Guitars. Here's one I had to build. Mahogany body with a highly figured Bubinga top. Beautiful flame maple neck with a Jatoba board, medium nickel frets, bone nut, Wilkinson tuners, Bourne's low friction pots, F9 caps, Gavit wire, Bubinga knobs, switchcraft switch and output jack, 12-inch radius. The top, my friends, is to die for. It doesn't get too much prettier than that. The Bubinga knobs, nice touch. The Bubinga from QA Guitars. Part of our Artisan series, of course. We do build some that are just high-end. The Bubinga from QA Guitars. We're getting down to the end of it, but there's some nice stuff coming now. Up next, you gotta love it. Mahogany body. Cortisone Peruvian walnut neck, and guys, how about a Purple Heart fretboard? Medium frets, bone nut, Wilkinson tuners, P&AF pickups, hip shot string through body bridge. This one has CTS pots, Tessie knobs, switchcraft switch, and output jack. And look at that koa top. Now it's not as quilted or curly, as they say, as some tops, but then again, it's a gorgeous guitar. The wood grain is insane. And as you see, one curl going through the middle, one at the tail end. It's not one of them super higher end curly koa tops, but we'll get to a few more here in a second. This one's absolutely beautiful. The wood, if you can see it, and I think you can see in this picture, the grain going through that wood is amazing. The guitar plays extremely well and sounds phenomenal. QA Guitars, koa top number 2, right in front of you. They say beauty's in the eye of the beholder. In some cases, beauty is just beauty. Mahogany body, Ambrosia maple neck. This has a walnut board and a figured, highly figured Bacodi top, hip shot through the body bridge, P&AF pickups, Tessie knobs, CTS pots, F9 caps, switchcraft switch and output jack, and a very figured Bacodi top. Really something you want to see. Look at that. It looks like a demon looking back. And look at that guy. He's looking towards that demon. He's scared. A friend of mine looked at it and said, "This face is looking back at me." Maybe there are. Or maybe he was just drinking a lot that day. In any event, the Bacodi top is priceless. Beautiful guitar from QA Guitars. Up next, is another koa top. A beautiful koa top. Mahogany body and neck with a koa top that's highly figured and curly, as they say. Rosewood board, Wilkinson tuners, PNAF pickups, hip shot spring through the body bridge, switchcraft switch, and output jack, the orange drop caps on this one, Tessie knobs, and CTS pots. The top, a little more figured than the last one. This is pretty. The camera's not doing it justice, but I think you get the idea. Koa top number 1 from QA Guitars. Sometimes you build a guitar and you gotta say, oh, Bacote top that's highly figured and a Bacote board that's highly figured, sitting on a mahogany body and a Cortisone Peruvian walnut neck, bone nut, medium nickel frets, Wilkinson tuners, PNAF pickups, hip shot string through the body bridge, Tessie knobs. Those aluminum knobs are awesome. They feel good, they look good. What's not to like? Switchcraft switch and output jack. Guys, a chunky 54 Les Paul profile neck. We build guitars with chunky necks. This one's chunky. And it's gorgeous. This thing ought to be in the Louvre. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just build something nice. See if we get in on that board. I don't know if the camera will focus. There we go. We might get a little bit of what the board is. But it's figured Bacote. There you go. You're starting to see the board there. It's like that all the way up the board. And the truss rod cover, look. Right in the middle is the all-seeing eye, like on the back of a dollar bill. Isn't that cool? I saw that in the wood and had to make a truss rod cover out of it. I saw that in the wood and it was like, you know, had to make a nice truss rod cover. Just a cool guitar, you know. Sometimes you build one that's just beautiful and it's a cool guitar. QA Guitars, the Bacote ear. This one is expensive. The QA Bacote. And last but not least, and there is one more that's in pink, but with what's done, last but not least, the Creme De La Creme. This is an ear model with a solid 1 3/4 inch thick Hawaiian curly koa body with a koa neck and a Bacote board. We went with a 13-degree headstock angle on this one because I wanted a little bit stronger joint up there, especially with the koa neck. It has a thinner profile neck than most of our guitars, but it is what it is. Solid koa. We're talking $180 a board foot. Tessie knobs, switchcraft switch and output jack, Bacote board. My goodness, guys. See if we can get in on that. I don't know if the camera will focus, but there you go. Look at the board and the headstock. I did do a Stinger paint job on the back of the headstock. It has Wilkinson tuners, medium frets, bone nut of course. And it's solid koa, guys. Now, if you want this one, we'll sell it. But send mama for a little value. Because this one's expensive, or it ain't going nowhere. Solid Hawaiian curly koa that's not all punked out. It's real hard to come from these days. The koa ear model from QA Guitars, part of our Artisan series, and on the lineup for 2021. You can see all these guitars at our site, www.guitarbazaar.net. And guys, we all want to thank you for buying our products, buying our pickups, our guitars, and some of you that did some rave reviews on the pickups and the guitars, and a lot of you touring musicians that send us videos of you playing on stage. We really do appreciate that. And as you send them, we will put them up. We will. Guys, from QA Guitars, we want to thank you. The Koa ear. It doesn't get better until we build another one. www.guitarbazaar.net